welcome back. I'm Yusuf Shakeel and you are watching JavaScript tutorial series. In this video, we are going to learn about event handlers. So let's get started. Alright guys, I have opened the project folder in Sublime Text, and inside the project folder, I have created a new file, eventhandlers.html, and I've written the following code. And inside the JS folder, I have created a new file, eventhandlers.js, which is this one. And inside the HTML file, I have included this JS file by writing the script tag. And now let us go ahead and open this in Chrome. So we'll open the project folder and we'll open the eventhandlers.html file. And we'll also open the DevTools. So we'll go to View, Developer, and we'll select the DevTools. And we'll move to the console tab, and it is empty at the moment. That means we don't have any error. So what is an event? An event is something that happens when we interact with the elements in a page. For example, if a page has a button and if we click on that button, then the click event happens. So what are event handlers? Well, event handlers are JavaScript properties that handles the event that occurs. For example, if we have a button and if we click on that button, then the click event happens. And we have JavaScript properties to handle those click events. Similarly, we can have double click events, and we have JavaScript properties to handle those double click events. So those are event handlers. So how can we add event handlers to any element? Well, adding event handlers. We can add event handlers as special attributes to the element. So we can use special attributes. We can add event handler code inside the script tag. And we can also use a separate JS file and include it in our code. Now let us go ahead and create a button inside the HTML element, and we'll handle the click event using special attributes. So inside the HTML file, inside the body, we'll create a button using the button tag. And we'll set the text for the button to click me. And now if we save the file, go back to Chrome and reload, we get a button. But if we keep clicking the button, we get nothing because we have not yet defined a click event handler. So let us go back to our code and we'll handle the click event using special attribute onclick. So inside the opening button tag, we'll add the onclick attribute. And inside this double quotes, we'll write the code that will handle the onclick event. So that code will get executed whenever this button is clicked. So let's say whenever we click this button, we want to show an alert box which says button clicked. So we can write alert, and inside single quotes, because we are already using double quotes, we can write button clicked. And we can now save the file, go back to Chrome, and now if we reload, and now if we click the button, we get the alert box which says button clicked. So each time we click this button, we get this alert box. So this is handling click event using special attribute onclick. Another way to handle the click event is to write the code inside the script tag and then attach that logic to the onclick attribute. So I will comment this and I'll create a new button, and this will be called click me, and we'll have the special attribute onclick, and inside the body we'll have a script tag, and inside the script tag we'll have the event handling code. So let us go ahead and create a function and we'll call it button clicked. And inside this function, we'll show the alert box which says button clicked. So we'll write alert and the message will be button clicked. And we'll call this function whenever we click this button. So for this onClick attribute, we'll write button clicked function. So we are calling the button clicked function whenever we are clicking this button. So now if we save the file, go back to Chrome, reload, we get the same message. We can even change it to button clicked message from the function. So if we reload, we get button clicked message from the function. So in this scenario, we have a button and we are handling the click event, and we have onClick special attribute for this button, and inside the script, we have a function button clicked. So when this button is clicked, we are calling the button clicked function. And when this button click function is called, we get the alert message, button clicked message from the function. Another way of handling the click event is by writing the click handling logic in a separate JS file and then attaching the click event handler to the element. So I will move this code next to the button and I will comment this. And now we'll go ahead and create a new button, and this will be click me, and we'll give this button an ID, my button. And now inside the event handlers.js file, we'll write the click handling logic and we'll attach that logic to this button having ID my button. So we'll go inside the event handlers.js file, and first we'll target this button using the ID. So var button, and we can target this button by writing document.get element by ID, and we'll pass the ID which is my button. So now we have the button. So our next target is to attach the event handling code. So we'll add the onClick event handler to the button. So we'll write button.onClick. And this will be a function. And inside this function, we'll do the same thing. We'll show an alert box and a message. So we'll write alert, and the message will be button clicked message from JS file. So now if we save the file, go back to Chrome and reload the page, and now if we click this, we get button clicked message from JS file. So in this scenario, we have created a button inside our HTML file, and we have given it an ID, my button, and we are writing our click event handler inside a separate JS file, which is eventhandlers.js, this one. So first, we are targeting the button having ID, my button, and we are targeting it by writing document.getElement by ID, and we are passing the ID for that button, which is my button. And once we have the button, we are then attaching the onClick event handler to that button. So we have written button.onClick, and we have a function which gets executed whenever we click that button. So when that button is clicked, we show an alert box. So whenever this button is clicked, a click event is fired, and this function, that is onClick, this onClick event handler, captures that event, and then this code gets executed, which gives us an alert box and this message. So an event is fired, and that event is handled by this onclick event handler, and we get this alert box having the message button clicked, message from JS file. So this is event handling. There are some more event handling examples that I have included on my website. So we have already seen the onclick, and in this example we have a button, and when we click on that button we get the alert message. And in this example we are using the special attribute onclick, and we have written the code window.alert, and we are showing the message hello world. Similarly, we have other event handlers like onChange. So this will handle the change event. So onChange event handler will handle any change in a form. So in this example, we have a select element, and it has two options, option 1 and option 2. And we are using onChange special attribute inside the opening select tag. And we are showing an alert message, option changed. So you can see in this example, whenever a user changes the option, we get a message, option changed. So this change event is fired whenever the option is changed, and that event is then handled by the onChange event handler. Similarly, we have on double click. This event will happen when we double click something, and that double click event will be handled by the on double click event handler. Similarly, on load. So when the page finishes to load, the on load event handler will handle that event. Similarly, on resize event handler. So when we resize the page, the resize event will occur, and we'll handle that resize event using the on resize event handler. And there are on scroll event handler and on submit. So when we submit the form, so submit is an event, and that submit event is handled by the on submit event handler. And I will encourage you to go ahead and try this code yourself and see how event and event handlers work. Feel free to copy this code in your text editor and run it in your browser. I will encourage you to experiment with the code, try to change the values as you like, and see how this events and event handlers are working. So the basic logic will be, you will have an event and you will need an event handler to handle that event. So some of the basic examples are there on this website, so feel free to check them out. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of this tutorial. I'll post the tutorial notes on my website duiclassroom.com, and all the code that we are writing in this tutorial series, I'll put them in my GitHub repository. You will find all the important links in the video description, so please check that out. And if you find this video interesting, then please like this video and please subscribe my channel. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video, and like always, stay happy and keep smiling. Bye.